Good day, gamers. Today, we're going to go over how to create a new scene and then how to do some basic editing or just like sort of starting from scratch. All right, folks. So let's first of all just we're going to be going into our assets folder and then into scenes. And then we're going to go ahead to where it says like secondary scene.unity. We're going to duplicate that. I believe that's Command D. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll rename this and we'll just call this awesome scene. Okay, now what that will do is, let's go ahead to our awesome scene. Let's load this up. Okay, so if we think of the components that would be part of a level, we can think of it as amalgamations or combinations of little parts combined into sort of larger sort of sections. So the way we can kind of look at this is if we go to, I'm going to go full screen here a second. If we look at our prefabs folder in our assets folder, we're going to see a few different things. We're going to see folders called like floors, which has all the floors. We've got different sections then of like sort of combinations of materials. And we've got sort of some other built up materials that like are combinations of walls, floors, and ceilings. Okay. So if we then look at these, you have like individual pieces, which would be things like, you know, the walls and things, but then you also have things where you've got like different rooms that are pre-built, and you've got entire sections of a map. So what you can do is, you know, sort of like adjusting the view, you can look, if you want to delete things, you can see there's like the different sections. Okay, I would keep, like if we look at like sort of like where the player starts, maybe just for, to keep things simple, you can keep the section the player starts off in, but you don't have to. Just make sure the player has a place to sort of start. So what you can do is you can just add entire sections. So if we think of it, or let's just do here, it says sections, let's do like add a room. And all you do is just click and drag. The only thing is you'll need to sort of work, you see, the only problem is, you know, the player, of course, would, without a floor, and also, this is backwards, we'd have to rotate it. But those are sorts of things that you can do. So let's see here, like room small. Again, problem being is you don't have the floors, which pretty easily added. But I would do floors, and then I would do sort of like the structures that that go with it. So that's how like you would basically edit a scene. You're going to be working with the prefabs in this folder. Now you can do some things too, like if you'd want to delete sections, or let's go ahead here. Like, are they going to let me? I don't want to do game hub. Yeah, so they have like the actual like individual parts then. So there's like the floors that are part of the observatory. And you see it's like they're just sort of different sections. What are you doing here? I don't want to do it. Let's do like side view. And you can sort of see like when you go in here, like basic floor, like there's that point there, that's that floor associated with the with that room. So again, I would do your floors first. If you really want to get fancy, I mean, you could just go ahead and let's just get rid of like all of our sections. Delete. And so like, let's look at like where the player starts. So looking at where our player starts, which is right about here, we could go ahead and just put, ooh, here we go, we got some bigger floors, like an 18 by 18 floor. And then from here, it's actually a pretty big floor, I like that. From there, we could go ahead and start populating like different structures that would go with it. We could also just, could we just duplicate that floor? Yeah. So there's that floor, now it's right next to it, and we could go ahead and just move that just to the right. And then since this is at the same z-axis, we can sort of see that they are good to go. So you could build sort of your own level from scratch, and that'll be something that we'll do with our project. But just want to give you a heads up how to edit and how to change levels. Of course, once after you create a scene and save it, the way that you would get this to get like accessed would be to go to a level that you already have defined, go into the game manager. So like let's go to our game manager for our level, or for our scene, excuse me. There's our scene folder. Okay, so like let's go to our main scene. Of course, save it. And then we just need to go ahead and change the game manager for that. So you could say if you win level 1, you go here to the awesome scene. Okay? And that's that. Good stuff, folks. Now for real. I wish you the best of luck. Great stuff.